All right, everyone, what's going on? This is the $7,000 sale. So this was from, I think, last week. I made those two sales in one day. This was the second phone call, but I didn't have time to edit it till now. So as you see on the screen, this is a recording. I'm after removing the kind of sensitive information. And just like last time, I'm going to run through the call and just give my kind of feedback as needed with the different stages. This is a pretty short call. In total edited, it's 11. I think it was 12 minutes originally. There's a bit here where he started talking about something that wasn't really relevant. I cut that out just to save us both some time. This is somebody that contacted me through my website, so my design website. They came across my work through another website that I did for a client, and they were quite interested in getting a site done. So this is a pretty warm lead. You'll see with the length of this phone call, 11 minutes to sell this is very, very fast. But I could tell from the beginning of the call that he was quite interested. I know people who, I used to work in this industry. This is a construction site. I used to work in oil and gas. My degree's in construction. So I just kind of know how to communicate with these people. That being said, this is pretty late at night, just like that other phone call. So a little bit tired, not exactly A1 sales game, but at the same time, I sold it. So I guess that's all that matters, really. Yeah, let's get into this, run through. I'll pause it when I think it's good, just to have a little bit of extra notes or some tips or whatever. So let's see if this works. Yeah, cool.
Thank you for calling Premier West Concrete. How may I help you?
Hi, please. He actually just emailed me like 3 minutes ago.
Oh, of course. May I have your name? I'll try his line.
It's Rob O'Rourke. Thanks.
Perfect. One moment.
So yeah, when this was taken, I was just about to go to bed, got this call, and got this email, and I just responded like straight away, literally within a few minutes. So I don't recommend you live like attached to your phone, but if you do get an important email, it's definitely good to respond as fast as you can if it's possible. I probably should have edited this out. But...
Hello, speaking.
Hey, how's it going? It's Rob.
It's going all right. Yourself?
Yeah, good. I just got your email. I was actually just headed to bed, but I'd figure I'd call and we could have a talk.
Yeah, for sure. This is for the website, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So just one little note. Even though he emailed and he wanted me to call, when I talked to the secretary, I didn't mention web design. I didn't mention websites. I just said it's Rob. I got an email from. I need to talk to him as soon as possible. So that's a good way to get past the secretary, to get past the gatekeeper, is just have that tone. Sound like you know what you're doing. Don't sound like it's a sales call. Don't mention web design, and just say that you need to speak to the owner, or you need to speak to, if you got their name, obviously mention their name.
Perfect. Yeah. So I guess my question is have you had a chance to look at the website we have currently?
Yeah, so I went through. It's not too bad, but I definitely feel it could be a lot better for sure.
Okay. Yeah. Like we're, like I said, I'm pretty much looking for something that's going to be a little easier to upload, and then it's going to be upload pictures, of course,
Sure.
and then similar to what you've got going there with that steel.
Yeah, perfect. So, is that how you found me? Is it? All right. So just I'm sure a few of you know, like I don't really do much WordPress sites. It's HTML. He's obviously talking about WordPress here, like uploading pictures. I'm not going to correct him at this stage of the phone call. It's too early to just cut him off and tell him that's not what I do. So I just agree. I let him talk. I let him list off, where he's at, what's been done so far, what he's looking for. Get that conversational flow going. There's no point stopping them straight away. Oh, this site isn't going to upload photos. I'm going to build it with hate. You want them to talk. You want to look for problems. What's going on? Right now, though, I just also wanted to know how he found my site. That's good information to have when you're trying to sell as well.
Yeah, exactly. We were just checking on theirs. I said, wow, that's a nice website. I'm sure they're getting some of the bigger clients that we're currently doing work for.
Perfect.
So I was like, perfect, we'll just reach out and see what we're looking at.
Yeah, cool. So what I would probably do is I'd have a certain portion of the website that doesn't require any maintenance, just like they focus on their business and then I do the web design stuff for them. And what we could also do then is have an additional page like current work or past projects or some sort of name, and you would basically upload the photos and the details. Or if you want, you could just send it to me and I would upload it for you and do kind of the writing, whichever way works best. So I've gone from a full site where he uploads photos to a site where everything is HTML except one page, to possibly a site where everything is HTML and I'll take care of the uploads. So I've agreed, and then I've, pretty fast over a few minutes already kind of turned it back to the way I want it. It's a much better style of communication to agree and then kind of go the direction you're going to go anyway, rather than stop them, tell them no, and then go off. So keep that in mind if you're trying to pitch something. If you have an idea of something that is better and they're saying otherwise, you're the expert in this situation. You should know more about web design. So just agree with what they're saying. Listen to why they're saying that. Why is that important to them? In this case, why does he want to upload photos? Maybe he doesn't really want to do that. Maybe that's just the way it was done with the last website. So, design has to follow how they want their website built for their own reasons. It shouldn't just be WordPress because WordPress. It has to make sense for how they run their business, how they want to do it. In this case, this guy, he's got a really successful business. He's managing a lot of people. I don't think it's best for him to be sitting there a few hours every week uploading photos. I'm the web designer. I'll take care of that. So this is in his interest as well with this particular project. It's construction. He's not going to be uploading photos all the time. I think it's better off that he just leaves that to me. So, and that would make the site really easy to manage. You don't have to worry about 90%, just the one portion that you want to have content being uploaded to.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like I said, ideally what we want to do is we're doing some commercial industrial projects right now. And like I said, ideally we just want to have projects and then we can just keep adding to it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Perfect.
There seemed to be a bit of a delay with this call whenever I stopped. There's like these big 3-second gaps, but I don't know. When you ask a question or you make a comment and you want them to respond, sometimes you just have to hold out and just wait kind of with the silence. It happened at the beginning of the call too, but don't feel the need to keep talking. You need them to talk more than you do. So if you say something and you want them to respond, or if they're talking and you just want them to keep going, sometimes just shut up, be quiet, and they'll fill that vacuum themselves. So
then I guess I kind of need a quote or what it's going to kind of look like, or what do you need from me to get this so I can make a decision on this?
Yeah, for sure. So usually what I do is I work backwards. So at this stage of the call, I do not have enough information about his business. Keep in mind, this is the first time we've actually talked on the phone. I have a feel because it's a construction company. I can see their current site. I have like a rough figure, but I definitely don't have enough to correctly come up with a price. So I don't want to say a figure and either be too small or too big or overbid or something. So this is a good technique. You basically ask them what price they have in mind. Maybe they do have a price in mind, and you kind of suss it out, back the way. Starting at what suits them, you kind of work back the way, and you can still play around with the price a little bit when they give you kind of a ballpark figure. From a price, kind of something that would be within a range that you're happy with, and then I would work to that price. Web design is kind of something that you can work to all sort of figures. So at the moment, do you have any sort of price in your mind, like what you're thinking?
To be honest, I've used for a previous business of mine, and I paid for that website cost me $10,000. So I know what a $10,000 website looks like. I know my current one was in that $3,200. So I've seen the high end, I've seen kind of the bottom end of the spectrum. What would be something like the website that what would something like that cost me to do very similar?
So he's referencing the job where he found out about me. I don't want to give that price away. It's kind of confidential, and I don't share prices with different clients. So this is kind of my workaround answer to that. Sure. So the deal I had with them involved other things as well. It wasn't just the website. But to do that website, let me just pull it up because I don't really think you would need that many pages. So I could do a better price.
Yeah, like I would need the home would be good, the about us, like the vision, the safety, the services, the projects, the careers. I don't need that Earth Cam. I don't, and the contacts would be fine.
For sure. So you're talking about like a 6-7 page website.
Yeah, mine, like all mine really needs is I had a good Squarespace website before this, and then I wasn't getting good SEO, so I hired a different company. I'm just too busy, and then to upload the photos, and it seems like. So that's a really important thing that he said there. That's really, really small. He's too busy to do this. So giving him a WordPress site where he's in charge of uploading content, that's not going to help him. It might be what he thinks he needs, but he doesn't. So the best thing here is he gives me a good budget to do the work that I need to do, and then we have an ongoing agreement for me to manage the site and to upload any new content if and when it's needed. They don't get to it very quick. So like I said, I'm looking just to revamp the site we currently have, right?
Sure. I think like a range 6,000 to 7,000, do a fully new site, have some really good content on there. Basically to tell you, who I kind of work with and how I approach a job. It's all about sales. So I want a website that you get results from. Got huge results. Another company in Edmonton got huge. Sorry, I'm editing out all these companies that I named that he should know as well. Results. They're a company out in BC. I always pick people and do a job in a certain way. It's all about sales. I don't want to say I don't care about design. Obviously I care about design, but design is all about what gets results. I'm not going to have fancy stuff in there for no reason. It's all about, what's the best stuff for your potential clients, what's going to get them to take action to hire you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Sorry, I live beside a construction site at the moment, so someone's obviously cutting some steel or something. But that wasn't the noise from the phone call. That's the noise right now. Yeah. So I think for that price, I could do something really, really good. For all these different sections, do up all the sort of content that you want in there. For example, like residential, commercial foundations, have the content, have the photos in there that is going to be the most persuasive for those people who want those different services.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, we're getting kind of out of residential. We're getting more and more into the commercial and industrial. Like I said, I guess my take on my other business is I paid for a $10,000 website, and I looked really big, and I wasn't really that big. So I got a lot of contracts by them thinking they were getting the biggest guy on the block. So, someone else sold him a good deal. Nice. He paid $10,000. He got all these huge contracts, and he seems pretty happy about it. Fair play to whoever that was. But here we have the same thing again, where he already has the link, so it's good. That's why this sales call is so small, but he associates having a good budget with getting good results, which is perfect. So I don't need to explain to him that giving me more money means I can spend longer on this project. I can do a better job. Not even necessarily the time, but I can do a better job that gets some real life tangible results. So he already knows that from this prior job, which really helps me. And sounds like he already got a pretty good deal as well. So he's got a good feel for web design, which is nice. But yeah, so I guess what's the timeline looking like? If we pull the trigger on this by the end of the week, what's the rollout schedule looking like? I work pretty fast. As long as I have the content I need, insofar as like images and just answers back to the questions that I have, I could do it within a matter of weeks, definitely before Christmas. Okay, so then January 1, we can look to getting it up online, everything like that. A really good thing about selling November, December is everyone's thinking next year, January. So, when I'm selling right now,
I'm pretty much full for December, but when I'm selling in November, December, you want to be saying, I'll have that done for next year, if it's all possible. Obviously, if it's like 2 days before Christmas, probably not going to be able to do that. But for this week, for next week, when this video was recorded, a perfect thing to be saying that you can start that right away. You got some free time. You can get it done for 2018.
For sure. Like, are you trying to look bigger than you are? Like, not in a bad way,
Well,
but are you trying to basically like get better clients?
Not really. Right now, I've got contracts with got a big contract with GP.
So these are all names I had to edit.
Yep.
But like when I do approach some guys. Like when I approach people, I want them to I want my website to reflect the work we do. Like sure. I've got 21 guys. I've got a bunch of trucks. Like we are big. I want it to look less like I just spent a couple of days doing it, and more like a super polished image, because that's what's going to get me sales, right?
There we go. This guy's pretty much selling it to himself. Like a really good website that looks professional, helps him get contracts. Those contracts are worth big money. So paying a web designer a good wage or a good amount of money helps get that result that he wants. And that result that he wants is worth a lot more than the cost. I know that's really simple, but it's important to understand that usually this is what we're trying to explain to someone. He already knows it, so there's no reason for me to tell him the same thing again.
For sure. The 10 grand website, do you mind just telling me how to bring that up? I just want to see kind of what that looks like.
Let me see. We sold that business.
I edited a lot of this out because we were trying to bring it up. We couldn't actually find it. But what I was trying to do was just see the quality of that website, how it compares to my work. If it was a really, really bad website, I would have gone closer to 10 with my price, even though we kind of already talked about price here. But I just wanted to have a benchmark for what he expects for 10 grand. We couldn't find it though. It's a business he sold, and it looks like they might have actually changed the website.
I'll see if they still even have it. It was who I used.
All right.
Yeah, it's who I prior used.
And then I can find the site through them, can I? Portfolio.
So yeah, this is all about the prior site.
Yeah, all good. All right, so let's say around 7, we have those pages like home, about, service, contact us, and then obviously have the contact form and stuff in there. You're going to have the portfolio section. If you want, what we could do is I can manage that, and whenever you have a new project that you want to add, I can add in a section, and we just have a set price for what that is ongoing. If it's 200 or 300, nothing crazy. Literally, I'll get on, do a few hours work, and get those new sections up as they go. You don't have to worry about that stuff. Or we can do it the way that you can upload it yourself. To be honest, I think it's going to be better value and just less work for you to just have a set price to add new projects, and then you don't have to worry about anything breaking. You can focus on your own business basically, and I'll take care of that.
So now I've gone full circle where this is a straight HTML website that I'm going to manage, which is what I want to sell. But if he really wants to upload it, fine, I'll do WordPress. But I'm not going to do the whole site in WordPress. It would just be one section, like a portfolio page or something.
Okay, yeah, that works for me. I just need, and then in terms of payments, can we transfer or wire it to you, or how do you usually do that?
Yeah, so my business is Canadian. I'm in the process. I'm Irish. I'm moving it to Ireland. So it's kind of in this halfway stage, but I'll charge you through my Canadian business. I take 50% up front and the other 50% when it's fully online and you're totally happy with everything.
You should always do it that way. It's so easy to explain it, and it's so easy for them to accept that policy as well.
Okay, perfect. So what it is, I have a meeting tomorrow with the other shareholder, and then I'll just do a quick walkthrough through them. But to be honest, I can't see this being an issue, because that's kind of where we're thinking it's probably going to cost. So like I said, I'll just run them through it quick, and then pretty much if you can get us something in paper, in writing, staying with what the estimated costs are, so I can take it to him, then we should be good to go.
Perfect. What I'll do is I'll do up a price tonight, and I'll also do the invoice. If you're happy with the invoice, pay it. If not, I'll just edit it to reflect whatever changes. If you want, it sounds like you pretty much agreed to, or you're kind of sold on the idea. But if you want just code,
I just mentioned some past clients that he could reach out to.
and feel free to talk to them about how their jobs went. I get really good results for everyone I work with, so I'm happy for you to, obviously enough to reach out to those people and see. But yeah, it's nighttime here. I'll get up early in the morning. I'll get that information for you, and just let me know if you need any more phone calls or if you need any more changes in the meantime.
Perfect. Sounds good to me.
Perfect. All right. Thanks for your time.
Awesome.
Bye.
Thanks for your time. Bye.
Cool. So this is something I teach on the course as well. When you have a site pretty much sold like this, go ahead, send this follow-up email that has like all the information, recaps his phone call. It breaks down the website. You go over all the different ways that he can benefit by getting a new website, all the problems that you discussed in the phone call. You break all that stuff down in a follow-up email. You also send an invoice at the same time, because we're working different hours. I'm in Europe, he's in Northern America. He might buy this thing while I'm asleep. So if I get an invoice there, I've explained clearly to pay half. It also on the invoice has the option to pay half, which I'll select, which I'll have set up. So it's very easy for him just to click one button, enter in his credit card details, and I get that payment notification, whatever that is. So just like selling something online, if you're selling something on Amazon, imagine if people had to email you first and then you had to do up an invoice and then you send them the invoice and they pay for that. They're going to maybe go somewhere else in the meantime, or they're going to change their mind, or that process is just going to get dragged out over days or weeks. It's much easier if they can just already know all the conditions of the sale, and they just click on something and it's like an instant payment. You want to make it as easy as possible to buy, and you want to capture them at the time that they're most ready to buy. So having an invoice always ready to go is the way to do that. And that's pretty much how I close all my sales. I send out an invoice as soon as I can. If they need it to be changed, I'll change it, but usually they don't, and they'll just go ahead and pay it whenever it suits them the most. Cool. So I hope that helps. Pretty nice sale here in just a few minutes. Obviously, it takes a little bit of time to build this, but this is a style of website I've done many times before, and it shouldn't be too complicated to do a really good site for this guy that gets some results. So that's it. Let me know your thoughts, or if you have any questions down below in the comments, and I'll get back to you.